We will see, we need your software. I say, if you need my software, I'll give to you. But when you're talking about your organization, it becomes something else. It's not just to come and sell. So that's why, on our point of view, he was talking about the cake that you have. We was prepared to make a demo of our software. It's no need. Because this software, if I want to sell her to my sister, she will pay 3,000. But you are more than 2,000. It's not possible. Build it in-house. You can do that. And we can help you because here in Nigeria, you have everything. You have IT staff, you have pharmacists, you have everything to build it in-house. And to have it for your organization, you will fight against drug abuse. You will fight against fake drug. You will do what you want. You will be able to contact with the wholesaler and then to have a right way to work here. So we, on our side, we are ready. I say I will not make any demo. I just want to know what you want, and together we find which one is the technology that can fix your problem. Because in Africa, we used to make animals talking. And the pig, we say he's an omnivore, meaning he eats everything. The pigs look at us and say, you don't know me. If you look at me well, I take everything. I swallow some, but I reject some off. So technology is this.
Thank you, Dr. Sayavi. He's done so well. A big round of applause for him. Thank you so much. He's made such an excellent sacrifice coming all the way from France. We will take what we've tried to do scientifically. We are all scientists. And logically, is this. Because according to the quote from Dr. Kunle Tumeti, he said the future belongs to those organizations that promote agility, collaboration, and technology. So we've had the side of technology, we've had the side of collaboration, and one of the critical stakeholders for us to add value, to grow our business, to increase our collaboration with the other healthcare practitioners, the NHIS. I would like to call on the general manager in NHIS, the first lady, to beat me in class. I always beat all ladies when it comes to academics. But she's younger than me, she's a young girl. Even if I'm a few months older than her, she's a young girl. She's the general manager in charge of quality assurance, and she's in charge of the informal sector. I call on Mrs. Idia Anibilo to please make her presentation. While she's preparing, it's important for us to know that while they are getting ready out, to know that Mr. Dekola, the chairman, has explained why the TGB project, why the transgenerational project. Kunle Tumeti has presented to us how does it work, and now we can form an organization to collaborate in order to go far. And we have heard from Dr. Sayawi on how can we use modern technology to drive costs down and raise efficiency. She will now discuss with us what role can NHIS play to help boost the volume of our business that we run, and how we can collaborate and take the best advantage. Thereafter, we will get the other speakers to come on board. Ready? Are you ready?
If they are not ready, let me see the opportunity.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Prof.
Okay.
Don't worry, let them
all right.
take their time. Let me. While they.
Is there.
Okay, very well. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, as men of honor, we join hands Are we still joining hands? I was the only person that was not properly introduced. And I will introduce myself. I am a pharmacist. I remember she mentioned that. And this is actually a welcome back home for me, because when I graduated, I worked briefly in the hospital as an intern pharmacist and as a copper. And just as we are exiting NYSC, it was the then Idiagbo in government with Baba Buhari. And they came up with this policy that instead of staying, how many years were we staying before then, before you can actually launch yourself into community practice? I think it's about 10 years. 5, thank you. That they abrogated that policy. And some of us immediately went into community practice. And that is actually where I caught my proverbial tooth. So I'm welcome back home. Many of us here don't know. It is good that I let us know. And I was also very, very active, I thank God, within the pharmacy realm, that's pharmacy practice, PSN, and also Acpn. As a matter of fact, for 3 consecutive years, I was the financial secretary in Kaduna, PSN. 2 years, I was the treasurer. And eventually, I became the chairman, we call ourselves chairperson then, of the Association of Lady Pharmacists in Kaduna. And as we normally say, more, I was eventually given more in 1996. Sorry, 1998. And after then, I went quickly. I'm a very restless person, even though people like Lere Bale who appear more so than some of us. But never mind, you know, appearance at times can be deceptive. After then, I went to join the government, and I started work in NHIS. And as I speak, I am the general manager, as Lere Bale has said, of standards and quality assurance. And when the prof, I call him prof, he says, don't call me prof, but he's a prof. Don't mind him, he said, I'm the only person that beat him. Very, very intelligent guy. He was so intelligent that before we knew what was happening, he had gone into industrial pharmacy, and he was really calling the shots. Please, a round of applause for Lere Bale. Now, National Health Insurance Scheme. The question he asked me when he spoke to me was, Idia, how can our people, community pharmacists, actually benefit and participate in health insurance? And believe you me, this is a question that has always bothered us pharmacists within the NHIS, because that was not the initial plan. But along the way, you know, things happen. Things are hijacked. And I want to believe that for us to be able to achieve this aim of this transgenerational pharmacy practice, there's something very, very important that we need to actually, one important skill, if you like, that we need to improve upon. A lot of us have it. We need to own it. And that is being able to scan the environment, our immediate environment, be it political, be it economical, so as to be able to be properly responsive, so that we are not caught napping. Believe you me, we pharmacists, unfortunately, we were caught napping, as far as NHIS operation were concerned. But let me quickly say something. Hope is not lost, because NHIS is in progress. As a matter of fact, you will have heard that there is a new bill that it's been passed by the Senate and endorsed by the House of Representatives. It's awaiting the president's assent. You see, that's a good window of opportunity to be able to situate ourselves. That is one on the political space, in the political space. Again, even in the operational aspect of NHIS, how are we faring? What do I mean by how are we faring? How are our enrollees faring as far as drugs dispensation is concerned? Incidentally, some hospital pharmacists are not here. I had the privilege of talking to them in their meetings sometime back in Delta State. And some of the feedback reaching us at NHIs is that our enrollees, including ourselves, are being shortchanged when it comes to drugs. If you look at the drug list of NHIs or the benefit package of NHIs, it is very, very comprehensive. It has primary, secondary, tertiary benefit package. The only few things that were left out are those things that ordinarily health insurance or insurance at that cannot take care of. You know that when you talk about insurance, you're talking about numbers. And at the same time, you are talking of probability. Probability of an incident happening. Probability of an event. And that probability must never be one as far as insurance is concerned. The moment that probability is one, health insurance cannot hold sway. So those are the few things that were left out. So, but nevertheless, when you go to the hospital, what happens? You are told these drugs are not covered by NHIs because for obvious reasons, the hospital pharmacies are not oftentimes adequately financed. So when many of these drugs are not there, rather than come out and be frank and be courageous and tell these enrollees and do what they are meant to do, say, you know what, these drugs are out of stock or is out of stock. Can you come back? Because that's what you're supposed to do. For your drug, they make arrangements. But that doesn't, what they go out to tell the enrollees are, these drugs are not covered. The enrollees are shortchanged. The third-party administrators smile to the bank, the HMOs. They smile to the bank because the money that the providers, pharmacy providers, are meant to have been paid, they will not be paid. It is the poor enrollee that will not have to pay out of pocket. And that's one of the key objectives of health insurance, to reduce the burden of out-of-pocket payments. Unfortunately, we are going the other way around. So there's an opportunity, and I'm happy to let you know that one of us, a pharmacist, actually owns an HMO, this wellness HMO. I was speaking to him yesterday, and he said he had actually addressed this organization, this association in the past. Believe you me, that guy is doing a good job. What is he doing? He has decided to have a scheme he called Pharmacy Benefit Scheme. And what does that do? It's actually the initial design of NHIS. So that when the prescriptions are given to our enrollees, they go out there to pharmacies, pick up the drugs, and the pharmacists are paid for that. As a matter of fact, if you look through our operational guidelines, that was when we started initially, we went around and accredited pharmacists. Pharmacists are meant to be paid fee for service. But unfortunately, there's an issue. And that takes me to one critical thing. Lenny was asking me, what message, what is it that I want you to take away from this? And that is the in-depth understanding of the principles of health insurance, the operations of NHIS. Because if we do not know, there's no way we can participate actively and effectively. And our ignorance came to fore when our colleagues were asking that they are paid capitation. There are various payment mechanisms. You have line item budget, you have global capitation, you have capitation, you have fee for service, and you also have co-payments. In NHIS operation, we don't do line item budget, but we do all the others. And as a matter of fact, when I said things are actually hijacked, the initial design was that primary providers will be paid capitation. Capitation is you enroll people in your hospitals, and a designed amount per person per period is already defined, will be given. And then you are given based on the number that are registered with you. But at the nick of time, you know, at times we go to sleep, but others are all awake all night through. Maybe because they are always on call, they hardly sleep, but we are never on call, so we sleep. It was at the last minute. That method had to be changed in favor of healthcare facilities. And instead of just capitation, they were giving global capitation for primary care. And what that means is that apart from the consultation, the test for primary care, the drugs for primary care are all enrolled, you know, put together in that global capitation. So for primary care, tactically, we have been edged out. But it's not a story of all woes. The secondary care is also there. And that is for fee for service. I'm just touching there because I'm not sure it's not even showing as it should. But essentially, I'm saying that there's also now a window of opportunity. The operation is faulty in the sense that we're not getting what we're supposed to get. And this is opportunity. This is a very good opportunity for community pharmacists to step in. And what do? My suggestion. We need to work with those in the hospital pharmacies and get data. I'm happy the last speaker mentioned data. In this age, there's virtually nothing you can do without data. If you want your child to succeed you in that pharmacy, you've got to have data. That data should be able to tell him, you know what? My father went this way. This is what he achieved. This is what he didn't achieve. I'm not going that way. Data is very, very key. So with that data, you should be able to say, yes, these are the number of enrollees or number of prescriptions that I am treating, and be able to make that presentation to the HMOs who will make the payment. And like I said, as this guy was doing precisely that, and believe you me, even the enrollees, that is the wellness HMO, the enrollees are happier for it. The program is better for it. And even the pharmacists are also happier for it. So this is my own suggestion. Work with hospital pharmacists, collect their data, and make presentations, solid presentation to NHIS. NHIS is very, very receptive as we speak to suggestions on how we can make the program better and perform effectively. We have had to discuss with even the leadership in Abuja. I think it was the PSN leadership. Some of them are in this hall now. We called them, you know what? These are the kind of things you need to do. Because when you are making an argument, you have to make a plausible argument that is not only for you, but for the generality of the stakeholders involved in what you are talking about. That is very, very key. If you see a leader, he doesn't think only for himself. He thinks for the others. Like the experience of our colleague from the US. And the earlier that we start doing this, the better. So on this note, okay, one other thing is, as an association, is it possible that you can actually benefit from health insurance as enrollees? Why not? You can. We have various programs that cater for different strata of the populace. We have the formal sector program. We have the community health insurance program. We have the tertiary institution program for the students in the universities and tertiary institutions. We also have for organized private sectors. If you have a firm that has employed the minimum of 10 staff, then you are entitled to key into that. And let me quickly tell you, it is a lot cheaper to go the social health insurance way than the private managed care. And like I said, the package are very, very comprehensive. And I believe that we all know that health is wealth. If we are healthy, we'll be able to do what we need to do better. If our staff are taken care of, as far as their health care needs are concerned, we'll be able to retain them better. Attrition will go down. Because I know that's one of the problems that bedevil pharmacy practice. You see them, your staff running from one pharmacy to the other and like that. Attrition will definitely be reduced. So on this note, I want to say thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thanks so much. We would quickly call on, sorry, what's your name? The representative of Zenith Bank here is Mr. Chinanzo Ume. He's standing in for Mr. Larry Oladimeji. He will speak to us on how we could secure a single-digit interest rate to support our projects. All right, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having us. We appreciate. I'd say it's quite humbling being in the midst of the community pharmacists and everyone else. All protocols observed. Mr. Oladimeji couldn't be here, unfortunately, and Dr. Sani as well, as a way for a meeting. Yes. So we're here to speak on what Zenith Bank has in place for the community pharmacists. In partnership with the Acpn, Zenith Bank has set out a global limit for the Acpn, the Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria. We set up a 500 million naira loan, or a global limit that can be accessed by the community pharmacists of Nigeria. Thank you. So what that presupposes is we're working in partnership with the Acpn to bring on board the community pharmacists to access this global limit of 500 million. And what it entails basically is the Acpn would introduce the community pharmacists to Zenith Bank. When the pharmacists are introduced, then we work along the pharmacists based on what they want in terms of the loan amounts. So we have the loans ranging from between 5 million and 10 million, respectively. What the community pharmacists would do for us would be to get a personal guarantee, notarized, of course. Then, of course, they would, the community pharmacists would go ahead to apply by filling out a form. Suffice it to say that in working with the Acpn, we would have gotten the go-ahead to work with these community pharmacists. And so it's going to be on a referral basis. So we have two types of loans set out for this. We have the loans coming by way of the overdraft. We also have them coming by way of the asset acquisition. So what that entails is the community pharmacists can either come to take out these loans or to draw on the global limit of 500 million via the overdraft on the one hand or the asset acquisition on the other. Sorry, sir, but I would say that we got approval for 16% per annum for those loan types. Thank you. So what we'd said was we would run with this, and as effective as it would be, whilst being positive, the 500 million global limit would be enhanced, because this is ultimately the first phase, as it were. Thank you. So we would like to say that we're positive about this partnership, and we believe that it will be a win-win situation for both parties. We understand that the Association of Community Pharmacists is doing a lot in the national sphere of things, and would like to be a part of it. So what it's basically borderless in the sense that if you were in Sokoto, Abuja, Lagos, you could simply walk into any branch of Zenith Bank to apply. Like we said, to reiterate, what you would need would be to speak with the Acpn. If you're enlisted, you would have to come with a personal guarantee, and you would have to fill out a form, as the case may be. Then we would look at it on a case-by-case basis in collaboration with the Acpn. So if we were to look at what would come from them, for those that would qualify for the 5 million, would process accordingly. And for those that would qualify for the 10 million, would process accordingly. These are a few things we would like to start with, and we know that it would continue in that positive note thereafter. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. We are grateful. He has just decided to reduce interest rate by almost half, because we normally take loan for about 24, 26%. And then there's an hidden 1% legal fee. There are times or rollover fee you pay every quarter. In a year, it's about 30%. So we'd like to thank Zenith Bank. We know it's a first step. We continue to work around it, or to can be given a special place like had been given to BOI, recipients of loans from BOI, and the rest of them funded, with directives and support from CBN. We look forward. Thank you, Mr. Ume. A big round of applause to Zenith Bank. Thank you. On this note, we have had extensive discussion that shows that we need people, we need process, we need technology, but we also need products. I think so. And we would like to call on Santosh, the MD of Worldwide Healthcare, to give us in a few minutes, in what way can you add value to this group in terms of this project concept? We believe, being the single biggest distributor nationwide, there should be ways within which, if we can capture worldwide, then it becomes easy for us to capture all the other distributors. So this is the reason why we just felt that a major distributor that can supply us majority of the products we sell in community pharmacies should be able to make a commitment. Thank you. A round of applause for Santosh.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Good morning, everyone. It's such a great pleasure to be standing here and amongst the elite panel that is here. I know that there are so many prominent ladies and gentlemen in this room. So if I go by thanking you all, perhaps my 15 minutes allotted will be over. So let me just say, as they say in Nigeria, I stand on all existing protocols. Yeah. So I was Googling, where is this word coming from? It seems to be very specific to Nigeria. So I stand on all existing protocols. On behalf of all my colleagues, some of them are here. On everybody at Worldwide Healthcare, I sincerely and profoundly express my gratitude to all the community pharmacists who has been supporting us from where we were 10 years back and today where we are. I'm pretty sure it wasn't possible. It wouldn't have been possible with all your blessings and all your support. I sincerely thank you. And at the Acpn level, starting at least ever since I am in the country, starting from Farm Adebayo and then Farm Alkali and now to Farm Samuel Adekola, we have been enjoying transgenerational relationship with Acpn. So I think it started already. But I must tell that the predecessors of Mr. Adekola have really tried for us. But definitely Mr. Adekola and our relation is going to the next level, if I can say so. This is, I may be seen as somebody who is borrowing the presidential campaign tagline, but this is really next level that we have taken the relation to. So thanks a lot to everybody. And this is quite an interesting topic that I'm very happy to talk on. How do we really take community pharmacists and the community pharmacies transgenerational? There was an interesting article that I was reading in Economic Outlook magazine that almost like 80 to 90% of the businesses in general in Nigeria are not even lasting beyond one generation. Now that is quite a loss to the industry, because there is so much of learning that the previous generation or the current generation is having of running a business, and then it's not able to really hand over the baton to the next generation. So while I was doing the research for this talk, there are a few things that we really identified, at least I could identify with my over 14 years experience in Nigeria and over 10 years experience in pharmaceutical world outside Nigeria, close to 23, 24 years experience that I have in pharmaceuticals, is that there are some specific things that are to Nigeria, but most of them are generalized across the world, is why is this the community pharmacy is not really going transgenerational? Of course, the first thing is, I feel the cost of operation is continuously increasing, and unless we really reduce the procurement cost of the medicines, we are not going to be really competitive out there. And then increase the footfall. How do we ensure that we gain the confidence of our customers that are working in? And I think the most important thing is not able to embrace the contemporary technology is one of the things that across the globe, the businesses are not able to really become transgenerational because they are not really adopting to the technology or embrace the technology that is today, that is available today. Gone are the days where we will be writing the bills, manual bills and all. Because today the technology, like Doctor was saying, there's so much of technology available. If you don't really embrace that technology, we'll be actually falling behind and we'll not be in a position to really give the baton to the next generation. And another most important thing is not able to create the proper succession planning, not able to give the learning curve that this generation has got to the next level, and identifying the successor of the business at the right time and trying to incorporate him into the business and the ecosystem of the business at the right time is not really able to take the practice to the next level. And of course, another thing is, how do we reduce the revenue leaks? Perhaps this particular topic has got more relevance to Nigeria because there are so many revenue leaks that are happening in the community pharmacy. Either it could be pilferage, or it could be at the procurement level, or it could be at the sales level, or it could be at the inventory management level. Now, these are all the things that are really causing how a practice is actually even struggling to meet both ends. Like we were discussing as a pre-panel discussion yesterday, I was even surprised to hear from some of the panelists that many pharmacists in community pharmacy in Nigeria are not even able to afford a constant salary to be really meeting up the ends. So as a result, perhaps there is no financial discipline, there is no inventory discipline. As a result, most of the pharmacies are not even able to see beyond one generation. So what am I saying? Basically, what I'm saying is there is a need for collaboration. There is a need for proper management. There is a need for proper inventory discipline. And there is a need for proper financial discipline. and there is a need for proper succession planning. Basically, how the corporates across the world are running, that's perhaps the reason that chairman has actually chose a panel that has got somebody who is running very effectively in the first world, and somebody, there are like NHIS speaker is here, financial institution, and somebody coming from technology background, and somebody coming from industry leader like somebody like Farm Larebale. These are the people that are actually run some great organizations all across the world. How do we really give our inputs to community pharmacy to ensure that this great thing that is working in Nigeria, how do we really make it transgenerational? As you may have also seen, multiple market research reports suggest, you would be surprised to know perhaps many community pharmacies do not know the power they have. Most of the market research suggests that almost 90% of the patients in Nigeria use the pharmacy, that is community pharmacy, as the first port of call to really go to the pharmacy when they have any issue. That also shows the power of healthcare, that is the management of the healthcare that is in the community pharmacist hand. Thus, it is very essential that we give quality service to the patient, and that is also essential that we make this good work that you people are doing to be a transgenerational. So we also believe at Worldwide that future belongs to those who really embrace technology and who know how to collaborate. Now, collaboration is quite an underutilized power in Nigeria. With my 14 years experience in Nigeria, somehow Nigerian businessmen are extremely cautious when we talk about collaboration, when we talk about data sharing, when we talk about how do we partner with you, because everybody is a bit reticent about sharing the data and the information, but not necessarily that you should know everything that you're doing. There are some experts. How do we collaborate with them, either on technology front or on the data front, to take the discussion forward? So what we are doing at Worldwide is, under the leadership of Farm Adekola and the chairman, what we are planning to do is, perhaps in next 2-3 months, you will see this in being actioned also. Acpn and Worldwide are working on a project in which Acpn, like Mr. Kunle was saying, how do you get the collective bargaining power of Acpn to the benefit of the members? So Farm Adekola has started a project, and in which we are very happy to plug in, where we are plugging into we being the leading distributor of Nigeria, almost doing approximately 30 to 35% of pharmaceutical products distribution in Nigeria. So if you have Worldwide with you, there is a high probability that we could improve the collaboration further, even with other distributors in the country. So what we are planning to do is, we are planning to build a technology platform with people like Doctor that was presenting on the technology, how we can actually computerize all the pharmacies to start with 500, and then later move on all the pharmacies, where your stores are run in a computerized way, your inventory is managed in a computerized way, your pricing is done in a computerized way, your procurement is done at a constant price, not that today something is bought at 100 naira and tomorrow it is bought at 500 naira. What we are going to do at Worldwide is, we are going to plug into this project along with Acpn, and we will be coming to you individually, and we will help you to develop the data and the computerization of your pharmacy. It means a lot of investment from us. But then we also recognize we are where we are today is because of everybody's support in this room and many of the community pharmacies outside. So perhaps it's a time for us to give back. Perhaps it's a time for us to build the ecosystem and build a sustainable ecosystem in which you would thrive and we would also thrive in. That's the whole idea. So as a prototype, we have already started working on the technology front. Now what we need to do is work with companies like Doctor's own company. How do we computerize your inventory management? Like Doctor was also saying, suppose if you have a paracetamol that is expiring in December 2019, and you also have a paracetamol that is expiring next year, how do you get alert that you will, because I know that significant amount of money that you are also wasting and not properly managing the inventory. So if we can do that, and then we can also get as a procurement partner for you, what we can do is, we have already developed a prototype of the tab that we will be giving to all the Acpn members, in which you will be seamlessly seeing what is the inventory that we have, and what is the batch number that we have, what is the price at which we are having, if there is an expiry, whether you are going to get an additional discount or there are any promos that you will be getting on a bulk purchase. Now what we do is Acpn will be introducing all their members to us, and then we will assign a particular credit limit and see how we can work with companies like Zenith Bank or other banks. Then they will also come in between, and we also put our collective might and collective bargaining power in favor of community pharmacies to even reduce further the interest rates or the COT charges or the management charges. Because we have already done this at the wholesaler level, we could guarantee our own wholesalers to reduce the fund. And then in some of the wholesalers, we even gave the bank management fees, provided they do the assigned targets, and we are even paying the bank charges that they would otherwise pay to the banks. So that's the model that we are working, because we know that for us to maintain the homeostasis of this ecosystem, we as the leading player in Nigeria and other parts of Africa, we have a role to play. It's not just that we are here to just build the business and profit, but time has come for even companies like us to invest back into the ecosystem and also really build a prototype of the NDDG guidelines that government is planning to implement. Perhaps these guidelines have been talked for a long time, but then if we can put a prototype that is already successful, then it is also very easy for many others to follow. So as a company at Worldwide Healthcare, on behalf of my colleagues, I wish to assure you that the project is already running to the extent that we spent close to $50,000 just to bring the prototype of the technology. We want to invest much more in this, and then we will give you assigned credit limits to all the community pharmacies. Acpn as a big brother would be standing as a guarantee. And then we'll also see how best we can do the recourse of any issues that are with the debt related. And then we will deliver the products to your doorstep. We will deliver the products to your doorstep at a price that perhaps somebody who is buying 100 million would get it, such that you are in a position to compete on a fair level field. Somebody who is doing a wholesaler and retail practice is not really getting the price advantage over independent pharmacies like Farm Kunle was saying, because perhaps the whole world is really moving towards this chain pharmacies and all. I have nothing against the chain pharmacies. They're doing a great job. But then these family businesses, if you want community pharmacies, independent pharmacies to be transgenerational, we need to give the same advantage to these independent pharmacies for them to sustain the business to be transgenerational. Because I, for one, do not believe in just doing, like I also resonate with Chairman, like when I first met, we also were the prime sponsors for the first summit. We do not believe at Worldwide just doing a talk on a plenary session or a panel session. You would be surprised by the time you come next Acpn conference, we would have rolled this. It's not just another panel that we are just discussing. You would be surprised to see the benefits of this. So what is in it for us? We would be very happy to really partner with the professionals, men of honor. And then what is in it for us? We are also can boast of the exclusive partner to Acpn on this great project. And I would be very happy to see, even that's what I tell at Worldwide, like I am the second generation managing director at Worldwide. I would be very happy to see my grandchild comes and joins Worldwide as an employee of Worldwide. That is only possible if we can create the processes, technology, and people, and we can build the people for the next generation. So that's what is all about. If Worldwide could do whatever we could do in the last 13 years in this country, 13, 14 years, I'm sure every community pharmacist can become transgenerational and ensure that we all are here over a period of next 10 years, 20 years, still talking about the success story. So to reiterate, as Worldwide, we are fully committed. We are bought into this theme of transgenerational. We are willing to invest. You will be surprised what we are going to do in the community pharmacy practice with the collaboration of people like Mr. Kunle and Doctor and Chairman and NHIS and the banking industry. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity. We appreciate it so much.
I was generous with timing for him. After he spoke about $250,000 investment in software, I just felt I should give him extra minutes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Santosh. We'd like to call on Mr. Falabi, our broker. We give him 2 minutes to address us. Where is he? I saw him early this morning. Sorry, please quickly come on board. The FBN representative should just be prepared as soon as he's closing. Before he makes it to the station, they are...
Pain? Emzor paracetamol. Feel better. Do better. Pain? Emzor paracetamol. Feel better. Do better.
The family of a corn has been taken hostage by an evil-looking creature.
When Amatem fought appear, malaria around for cover. Amatem, thank you. Amatem fought against soft gel capsules, tablets for adult, and suspension for Pekin. Amatem does not eat somebody and are very easy to use. Remember how Amatem fought against scratch pain to confirm the original and against soft gel capsules. Amatem, say no to malaria, yes to life.
Malaria? Lock it down. Lock down malaria with Lockmal Combi. Lockmal quickly and effectively clears malaria parasites from the body and makes you malaria-free. Lockmal Combi, a brand of artimethyllumethantrine, comes with 12 bonus tablets of Emzor paracetamol. Lockmal, lock down malaria and feel even better.
Officially in the program, we only smuggle you from behind.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I want to thank Farmer Adekola for this opportunity that he has given to us to be part of these laudable projects of the ACPN. We are invited here, so I stand on the existing protocol. We are invited here to come and also give what we can do in terms of insurance to support this project. When we have finance, there is always be a collateral and an insurance company. The bank will require the insurance companies to provide covers. Pharmacola let us to know that we should go and prepare our quotations on this project for 5 million per members. 5 million loan members, that is the sum insured, for 200 members. Having in mind that the populations and the strengths of the associations, we are able to get on board 5 insurance companies, which has given us their rates, throwing to them the number of ACPN that this project is going to grow large and large. We are able to secure quotations from Zenith General Insurance Company, Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC, Custodian and Highlight, Name Insurance PLC, Leadway Assurance Company Limited, FBN General, and Hancock PLC. And literally, for fire policy, for 5 million like that, the least you can get is 0.25 for fire insurance policy. We're able to secure 0.15% for pharmacists, community pharmacists. Likewise, burglary insurance for 5 million sum insured individually, the least you can obtain is 0.4%. But throwing your large number to play, we're able to have 0.25%. For motor private insurance, in case I heard the representative of Zenith talking about assets financing, motor insurance, the least you can have in the market is 3%. But because of your large number, we're having 2.5%. And for commercial vehicle, in case you have trucks, you can have 3.5%. I want to tell you, this is what we have done in secure your professional indemnity policy that already existing, and at the same time with your group personal and accident policy. You have the cheapest rate so far in the industry today. And thanks be to this because of your large number of experience. So I want to encourage us to come together, as the chairman has said, earlier in their words, that togetherness will move. It also comes to play in this, our home prevention insurance. Thank you very much, sir.
The representative for FBN, please. I want the representative of Acpn. Okay, we'll get there later. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. The chairman, the national chairman, Acpn, all protocols duly observed. I won't take much of our time. I stand here today. My name is Acpn, and I work with First Bank. I head the community banking unit in the bank. I'm excited to be here today because you see, anytime you see growth and development, anytime you see forward-looking projects, you see First Bank. And that's where we are happy to partner with Acpn on the lofty projects you have, on this beautiful, forward-looking, futuristic, great initiative, the transgenerational pharmacy business practice. Before I go on, I have another reason why I'm so excited today, and I'll mention it briefly. Mr. Chairman, sir, I don't know if you remember a certain young man from University of Ibadan used to come and disturb you, then in Pfizer, to seek sponsorship for community development projects. Sir. He's a young man standing here today. It's a privilege to see you after over 25 years, looking so well. It's a privilege to be here. I used to be roommates with Tunde, your junior brother in UI, and he was supporting me. Look, it's a privilege. It's so good to see you, sir. And I'm happy to be associated with what you're associated with. Yes. First Bank, I'll go straight to the point, is supporting this project in every way we can, but starting presently with an initial amount of 250 million naira. This cuts across working capital and asset finance. We've shared our indicative offer with the National Secretariat, and members will be communicated from the National Secretariat on this support. We are proud to do this, and we feel safe to do this on the strength of associations like Acpn, because our major fallback is a recommendation from the National Secretariat. Once a member is recommended, we are good to go with such a member. And single obligor limit is 5 million naira per pharmacy. So in effect, we are supporting 50 out of this pilot. We learned it's about 200 members. And also as the phase, as it's going to go higher after this initial phase of 200 members, First Bank will also take it to the next level, to a higher level, by supporting even more members after this initial tranche of 50 members. Our working capital finance is going to be for 12 months, and asset finance component will be for 24 months with 20% equity contribution. A beautiful offer, and it doesn't end here. What we have for you today is self-funded for First Bank, using own funds and at an unbelievable interest rate in-house. But we are working with international agencies. We are seeking, for instance, to assess a guarantee. There's an international agency that will take, once we get this guarantee, the rate is going to drop to an even unbelievable level, much lower. And also some other intervention funds in the economy. But what we have today is self-funded, and we assure you will enjoy it. It makes life easy. We have a sinking fund in place. We call it a charge savings account, where a certain small amount will be going on a daily basis. That will not affect the business. The operational business account is there, but this charge savings account will be set up apart, where funds will go on a daily basis, that when the facility is due for payment, it will be so easy. It will be so easy to pay. That's the working capital component, and you will not be affected. Meanwhile, you would earn interest on that account, and the funds will even grow before the expiry of the facility. So like I said, this is just the beginning. We'll continue to partner with Acpn, because you see, old friends are the best, they say. We've been with Acpn for over 15 years. I think we are the first bankers to the association, to the association, and we'll continue to be there with you. You know, we are like that, your childhood friend, and we'll stay with you for life. Thank you very much. It's a privilege to be here again. Thank you.
I think we spent almost 90 minutes. I tried to, about 8 different people or 9 spoke. I jotted down some points, which I would like to share an average of about 5 points per person. So we started this session today with a very important understanding that the future belongs to those organizations that promote agility, ability to see the changes taking place in the environment and responding fast to it, agility. The future belongs to those organizations that promote collaboration, teamwork. For God has created nothing to stand alone. He has created each person with a complement of other things. And if we choose to stand alone as pharmacists, then it becomes difficult for us to have a transgenerational process. The future also belongs to those organizations that promote technology. And yesterday, Albert Tudor spoke about the value of technology. The biggest competitor to the taxi owners today do not have a single taxi, Uber. Technology. Amazon has crossed the bar, has overtaken Walmart. Technology, e-commerce. And as these people start to talk about many approaches to solving our problem, we feel that we have been able to scientifically identify a way to solve the problem. So we set up for today. Number 1, we wanted to understand why transgenerational pharmacy project. The chairman addressed this. How does it work? My jolly good multi-billionaire in dollars, Kunle Tometi, handle this. How can we form an organization to collaborate in order to go far? He handled that. How can we buy more effectively and efficiently at the same price through group purchase? The worldwide health care handle this. How can we secure lower cost of money? Zenith Bank and First Bank, they have handled it. How can we use modern technology to drive costs down and raise efficiency? Doctor, a medical doctor who is now an IT specialist, came all the way from France to handle this. A big round of applause for him again. What role can NHIS play to help community pharmacists so that we can boost our services, boost our revenue, our business that we run, and plug it into NHIS? My jolly childhood friend, Mrs. Annie Bilowo, Ni Bitoye, so that you know I know her reach herself. Actually made a very powerful presentation today. She used to be very quiet in school. So you can imagine she came here, her slide was not working, and she just kept on talking. I said, when did she become a salesperson like me? I'm so proud of you. Thanks. And she was able to educate us on a couple of things. How can we share best practices in US, Canada, Europe, and Gulf area? I think the combination of all these people have been able to share with us. We also wanted to achieve how can we manage procurement more efficiently. When you spoke about your investment of $250,000 and you are looking at your iPad that everybody will be able to operate from his own offices and make purchases and know the expiry date of goods in your own warehouse, I was just overwhelmed. For me, if this had been in place many years ago, I wouldn't have stayed 25 years with Pfizer. I would have moved to community pharmacies in the earlier part. Why didn't you come earlier, like 20 years earlier? Thank you so much. We are all excited and we look forward. We also look at, so how can we manage procurement more efficiently? And then, how can we use Acpn as a good channel to look for more collaboration on health insurance, on brokerage, insurance, anything. It should be possible for airline to be able to collaborate with Acpn and give for everybody who wants to travel for FIP or for any international conferences, bulk discounting just because you are a member of ACPN. I belong to various organizations, and I just use my code for the various organizations to secure bulk discounting that had been agreed with those organizations. So I want you to please listen. Even though this will come up as summary of today's conference and it will be sent by email. But these are the things I picked up personally in the course of listening to these gurus. 1, teamwork promotes synergy. 2, collaboration will drive costs down. The transgenerational pharmacy will reduce stock out. It will increase customer satisfaction. Our volume of business in each pharmacy shop will grow. We can have bulk insurance, even for purchases. We can have a purchasing power of all of us combined together. Our bargaining power will be better. Our volume-driven discount by each member of the group will also be helpful because we'll be able to enjoy better discount. Our contact with suppliers to reduce the bargaining power of suppliers will also be there. Because if Worldwide is the one supplying us 1/3 of our goods now, and the other distributors are supplying 65%, it means if the other people decide to give us a major discount, we can go back to Worldwide and renegotiate. So in that way, it will be a win-win for us. We will also be able to use the concept of transgenerational pharmacy to help startups. So that's why I said if we are here and you want to open a new pharmacy or you want to open a pharmacy, you want to participate, you can also sign up. We should be able to use those experienced people who have been practicing pharmacy before to be able to mentor younger ones. There are a lot of unemployment and the number of our younger pharmacists are unemployed. Now, if they key into this concept, particularly the young pharmacist group and those of us who are younger pharmacist group, if we key into this program, we should be able to get mentors to mentors. There will be rebate for each pharmacy based on volume of business. Technology will drive growth. Technology will prevent stealing and expiration. We will be able to connect with critical stakeholders on drug distribution value chain. So the technology of Worldwide can be connected with technology of my brother. And then we will be able to manage generic medicines and be able to look at the ones that have been well established to be bioequivalent right from the system. Because the system will not only see stock, the system will be able to see things concerning each of the generics, information about bioequivalence. They will be able to have a dashboard that tells us high volume products, highly profitable products. So using Pareto's principle, it should be possible for us to know which goods we need to stock from one pharmacy to the other. And so which goods may not be selling in my area, I don't need to stock them. And then medical therapeutic management becomes better. We'll be able to see drug-drug interaction. The healthcare teams will communicate better with each other, with doctors, particularly the prescribers. Prescription pharmacy only and OTC can be separated by technology automatically. So patient record management will be better, better patient management, better procurement management. Financing of e-health support is possible beyond the banks. We can now get support from African Developmental Bank, IFC, World Bank to support projects that is collective like this. They may not support individual, but they can support projects like this that enhances entrepreneurship. We'll be able to have handshake of text. We prevent procurement losses to frauds. We prevent chaotic drug distribution. ACPN will now be an association that has both authority and responsibility. It will no longer just be an association of people coming together for socials. ACPN will be seen as an organization that has very serious mandate and be able to move to the next generation with confidence that we are taking pharmacy into the hand. ACPN will provide guarantee, best price to community pharmacy, data access to negotiate and enrich evidence-based community pharmacy. We'll be able to create an ecosystem that is transparent to prevent revenue leaks. Other management software will be there. Another good thing that I saw is that if you sack your pharmacy for fraud, all you need to do is to place the information on our platform, and it cannot get employed by any member of the transgenerational pharmacy group. So a round of applause. So unlike now, so other management software, the future of pharmacy is here. Let me quote Dr. Kunle Tumeti. He said, the future of pharmacy is here with health insurance. Our PDI is listening. As the group will negotiate with HMOs and be in a position to collect fee for service effectively. NHIs recommend fee for service, not capitation. And we should need to work with hospital pharmacies to secure data on evidence and prescription. Once we get this data, we can use this data to renegotiate. When I combine the information that TDR presented with what Santosh said, it means we have data that we can use to negotiate with HMOs and be able to say 90% of patients, they first of all visit community pharmacies before they go to hospitals. Capitation is for primary providers. Our drug distribution system under the transgeneration pharmacy will reduce fake drugs because we can track drug distribution. All community pharmacies are members of Acpn. And so insurance and many things. Loans, a round of applause to Zenith Bank that has set aside a global limit of 500 million at 16% instead of over 30%. They have reduced the loan rate by about half. You may never understand the implication until you think about the fact that if all of us have borrowed about 500 million, it will have required us to have paid not less than about 150 million as an interest rate at the end of the year. But if we all borrow the 500 million today, we only pay about half of that amount, which is significantly less. So we are comparing about 150 million compared to maybe 75 million. So it's a huge savings of 75 million for us. We need to understand this. It will come in form of overdraft and loan in liaison with Acpn. This program or project we help with succession planning. It will enrich people, process, and technology. It will bring in discipline in management, succession, inventory management, and best practices. We'll be able to use our data on the large chunk of people who come to community to take advantage in negotiating, either with banks or in negotiating with other healthcare professionals and HMOs. It's a big opportunity for us to launch into collaboration with experts and stakeholders. We need to have a better collective bargaining power. As we are playing platform, we can handle procurement, inventory, and pricing simultaneously. We'd like to thank Worldwide Health, who has chosen not just to invest over $250,000, but to assign credit limit based on now where we do. We believe that, I think the guy from insurance broker, we want you to stand up for special recognition again, Mr. Folabi. Let's thank him because he saved for us over 40% of the rate. And you can imagine if you want to register your car or insure your car at 100 naira, you have been asked to pay 60 naira. That's what he's done. And then you multiply that by thousands of members who could subscribe to this program. This is the kind of thing we believe we add value to members, and members will be much more interested to pay whatever be the premium. As we are rendering better service to Acpn, one day we'll be so prosperous that when we decide to raise the annual fee to about 100,000, we'll be very gladly paid. God will do so. God will make it possible. We'd like to recognize the FBN, my colleague, a roommate and classmate to my younger brother is also a pharmacist. Are you also a pharmacist? Okay, don't worry. Because your roommate was a pharmacist, we will at least allow you to stay in the midst of pharmacists. A round of applause for him. He has set aside 250 million as pilot for working capital and asset financing. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the 50 key points I've gathered. I would like the representative for Acpn on BOT, Board of Trustees, as well as all members of the Transgenerational Pharmacy Project to please come out at this stage.
Members of the Working Committee on Transgenerational Community Pharmacy Agenda, Pharmacist Olubowale, Pharmacist Ambrose Ese, Pharmacist Gafar, Daniel Ajayi. Those are here. The rest are not here. Oh, sorry. Thank you for bringing yourself out. That's Bio Taiwo. I'm sorry. I also want to call on, I think it's proper, to call on all NEC members who have volunteered to be part of this from the start from last year, all NEC members in the house, we just want to institute this, which is our project.
Pain? Emzor paracetamol. Feel better. Do better.
Family of Acpn has been taken hostage by an evil-looking creature.
When Acpn fought appear, malaria run for cover. Acpn, thank you. Acpn fought against some gel capsules, tablets for adults, and suspension for Pekin. Acpn does not eat somebody and are very easy to use. Remember how Acpn fought against Acpn to confirm the original and against some gel capsules. Acpn, say no to malaria, yes to life.